I used to always procrastinate, and in this video I'll show you how I use task lists to finally stop it. As I said before, I used to always procrastinate, and so I tried out a bunch of strategies to finally find a way to fix it. I tried out schedules, is where you block off your whole day into hourly blocks of time and work. I tried it out and it felt great at first, but then I ended up hating it. I absolutely hated it because the start would go great, but then I would slowly get a bit off track, and then my whole schedule would be off, and I felt awful. And this process continued over a few days where I would feel great at first, and then I would get off track, and then I'd feel bad, until I finally stopped it. And I thought that there was no hope for me until I found out about task lists. To this day, I am using task lists. I've used task lists for half a year, and I'm still using them. They changed everything for me, and actually, I'll show you how to do it as well. There's really three main reasons why task lists are so effective. Number one, flexibility. We've all had those days where we planned everything out, we already know what we're going to do ahead of time, and then all of a sudden, something pops up, as it always does, and we get completely off track, and we get upset at ourselves. This happens all the time, and with a task list, you have room to wiggle in, you have room to change around your day depending on what happens. You're not fixed to an hourly, minute-by-minute schedule. Instead, you have flexibility in choosing what you want at what time. And so you actually stick with it over a longer period of time. Number two, reminders. We need to remind ourselves of things. This is actually why I would recommend you to make a task list as soon as possible while you're watching this video. Because the sooner you'll make it, the more likely you are to actually remember to use it. With a task list, you get reminded of the things you have to do. I'm kind of a forgetful person. I might have to set up my phone to have an alarm. Even with reminders, I still kind of get mixed up. And so a task list is just another step to remind me of things I have to do. Number three, satisfaction. It's one thing to do stuff because you feel like you have to, but it's another thing to do it because you actually like doing it. Whenever you check things off on your task list, it feels really satisfying. And that satisfaction actually builds momentum over time. And so you might feel great at the beginning of the day, like most of us do. But then slowly over time, you start to get mixed up. You start to lose a bit of focus. Momentum will keep you on track, especially because you like doing it. So you'll keep continuing your momentum. This is also why I love physical task lists. With digital ones, you don't get the same oomph that you do with physically writing off the check. It feels really nice. Even though I love task lists, for all you know, you might hate them. The only way you can find out if it actually works for you is to actually try it. You can use any kind of hack or trick or process to do something, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't help you do stuff, if it doesn't help you achieve your goals, why bother? You might as well try out a task list, and for all you know, you might hate it. For all you know, schedules might work better for you. But you can only find out if you actually try it. If you keep watching videos on this kind of stuff, it won't help you. Actually trying things out, actually implementing and applying stuff is the only way that you will see progress. So go ahead. You don't need any fancy booklet. All you need is a piece of paper and something to write with. So go ahead and make a task list. If you want to find out about more strategies to end procrastination, I wrote a free guide about it down in the description.